everybody, welcome back to the Wonder of Anime YouTube channel. My name is Lisa and you're actually coming back to my Clamp Reread series. In this series, I am rereading Clamp, all of Clamp's officially published work from the first series all the way to the last and most current series. I am a huge Clamp fan, huge Clamp collector, and I decided to reread the series. Some of them I read before, some of them I haven't, but these videos serve just to collect my thoughts as I reread it and how the work ties into the Clamp universe as a whole. The first video featured RG Veda, which is Clamp's original debut manga, officially licensed. Before this they were doing a lot of doujinshi and stuff like that. So we did RG Veda, and now we are moving on to Man of Many Faces. Now, I believe that I had read Man of Many Faces online back in high school, but I really did not remember anything other than the main character, Akira, and that was about it. While Man of Many Faces, as well as the following series that will follow this, that all kind of take place in that Clamp school universe that they have. So Man of Many Faces, Clamp School Detectives, and Duck Leon, they're all existing in this same universe that Tokyo Babylon and X 1999 kind of also exist in. We'll see later on that these characters make cameos in X 1999 as adults. So they kind of exist all in the same universe, but it doesn't feel like it initially. And these characters, again, will also make crossover appearances where they're not the same exact, people. It's not the same world, but they'll be in other worlds in Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. Man of Many Faces, this is a super lighthearted, kind of weird series. I'm not going to say that it's not. A quick read in terms of the Clamp stories. These don't really have I would say like this huge plot line where you're going to walk away and be like, oh my God, I'm thinking a lot about this. Actually, what I think best describes Man of Many Faces is a series that is kind of like the equivalent of what in America we grew up with, like Aesop fables, where it's like a story, but the main purpose is like the moral or the goal underneath. And I feel like for Clamp, this is that series because it's just a lot of nonsensical kind of like everyday, like every chapter is like this major event of Akira stealing something for his two moms, and that's it. But then it also includes like this love that he has for Utako, this little girl here. And it kind of is like an opportunity for his friend teacher guy, who is revealed to be his uncle, for him to be like, here's this whole like quote about love and romance. And it's literally a series that you just cannot take seriously because there is nothing to take serious about. And especially in the English translation, I'm reading this Tokyopop translation, and I believe this was translated. Let's see if it has a year. This would have been printed May 2013. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Sorry. May 2003. So, this literally is just, they have so many inside jokes making fun of the story itself and how whimsical and like nonsensical it is, and just basically making fun of itself as a series the entire time. Like, there are these splash pages where they're like, no one knows exactly why Akira has two moms, and where's the dad, and like, how are they both identical, and all these jokes about the other characters who are trying to catch Akira's secret identity, Man of 20 Faces, and they're like, how does a high schooler have access to police contact, and all of these inside jokes. So it is a series that is very funny within itself. Now, of course, it's not my favorite Clamp series at all because, first of all, Akira's like 9 or 10 and Utako is 5 and turned 6, which I guess when you're younger, like, you could have a crush on someone older, but no, Clamp, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Of course, it's very G-rated in the sense, like, it's just them expressing love to each other. You know, these are children, so it's more like, I love you, let's be together. And then you see in volume 2 at the end, they actually, like, finally get married when Utako's 18 and I forgot how old Akira is, add 4, so like 20, 21, 22. So obviously nothing inappropriate happens until they are adults. But, and even then, like, it's so funny because there's like a clip of them and they have separate beds. Like, what is this? That part in itself is just weird to me, and we will discuss that further when we get into Cardcaptor Sakura. I feel like, and this is me coming from a traditional, like, I guess American. I grew up in America. I am Dominican, so Dominican traditional views as well, where I just don't, we don't see love in the same type of way, and we don't see or value relationships. Like, Japan is very culturally different, and maybe it is something that I'm not familiar with, so I don't want to, like, offend anybody. But for me personally, like, kids in love, like, when you're a kid and you're watching kids, like, have crushes on each other, that makes sense. I'm also 28 years old, so reading this, I'm like, yeah, I ain't in love, get out of here. But you have to suspend disbelief. But overall, I just think with Man of Many Faces that it is supposed to be this kind of allegorical story, in a sense, where things are very, very exaggerated to get to these quotes about love. And thinking back, I'm wondering if this is just something that is more, I want to say, like, satirical. I don't know if that is the correct word, where it's like you have these children talking about love, and how would kids know about love? Like, it doesn't make sense. But then, like, you have, like, these splash pages where it's like paragraph about love and relationships and making people happy and making themselves happy. And I don't know if this is actually what it is. This is just me making an educated guess. Like, this is just supposed to be allegorical, because in reality, kids would not think about this in love, and wouldn't have these well thought out speeches about making yourself happy before making somebody happy, and you wouldn't want to be with somebody who depends on you for their happiness. Like, these are the type of quotes, and these are the type of situations that are happening in Man of Many Faces. And thinking now, post having reread it just a couple weeks ago, that is my educated guess. However, I don't know Client personally. I don't know if that's actually what their goal is, but to me, that makes the most logical sense in a story where nothing absolutely makes sense. And the love quotes are good. It's not saying that what they're not saying is good, because it is true. Like, you can't have a successful relationship if your happiness is based on that person. So, but it just makes no sense coming out of the mouths of, from the mouth of babes, in the word of Dustin from the friend zone. Like, it just don't make no sense. And there's a lot of things on the manga that purposely don't make sense. Like, how is a 9-year-old a man who's stealing stuff? Get out of here. It was honestly a short, quick read. I don't think I read both of them on the same day, just because I was doing different things. But I definitely just trying to take it at face value as what I think that it is. There's also, like, this weird, again, Clamp, like, I'm gonna need y'all to, although I feel like they have, from the 90s to now, kind of stopped with that, oh, I'm a child in love with a grown-ass adult, and the adult is, like, seriously considering the child. And like I said, I will get into that more in Cardcaptor Sakura, because there is definitely, we all know that one relationship where we're like, fuck no, cancel this out, this is canceled, get out of here. But I think that, and this isn't to justify anything, because I don't agree with it, I think it's gross, I think Clamp moves into this territory in their universe, in terms of the Clamp universe, just based on the relationships that they have, where they're just like, love is love, everybody can fall in love with everybody, and it's like, no, I'm sorry, children aren't falling in love with adults, and adults are not falling in love with children. That is not consensual. And again, that may be me inputting my moral standards, my ethical standards, growing up the way that I have grown up. And I don't know if there is something larger at play in these culturally that I'm not aware of or that I'm insensitive to. But speaking for myself, my cultural values, and where I'm coming from, that is not okay. That is never okay to present these relationships, even if it's just like a love, oh, we love each other. I don't like that. And I think that is personally a reason for me with Clamp, as much as I love them and they have some of my favorite series, there are those series that we're definitely side-eyeing, or as an adult looking at completely different, that I just do not support at all. And I definitely will have to do more research if there is something, you know, if somebody has put into words like the reason they do this is this, but that doesn't, to me, like, you can have a reason, but reasoning isn't a justification, and that doesn't make it okay. I just wanted to touch upon that briefly because there are going to be situations that further come up as I'm doing this Clamp reread with, I know, Suki, a like love story, card captor Sakura, and I just want to get that out in the open because as much as I love Clamp, I have my moral standards and what I believe to be ethically okay and not okay, and I just never want people to think like, oh, I love Clamp, I'm excusing all of that stuff, because I'm not. And not just Clamp itself, there are a lot of series, especially now that I'm getting into some of the more mature content where there's shit that I'm just like, hell no, not acceptable, not flying in my world. Overall, Man of Many Faces, glad to have it in my collection. Listen, y'all, I'm not gonna read this again. Just does not have that readability. It's cute for a one-time thing. Maybe I'm gonna need a little love quote to sound deep, but I'm not reading this again. Just zero readability for me. And again, I'm taking it in that allegorical, satirical context, at least the way that I interpreted it. Doesn't mean this is the way that I was written, or doesn't mean that that was the purpose of it. I don't know the purpose of it. That's just the way that I'm taking it. But overall, I could see how it fits in the Clamp universe, and this won't be the last time that we see these characters. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. The next story on our Clamp journey is Tokyo Babylon. Now, I will say, Man of Many Faces, Tokyo Babylon, I believe Clamp School Detectives, and Duck Leon, they were all kind of starting to be published and serialized at the same time. So they all have like the same release year, but I kind of just ordered it in months, as when like the first month it started publishing, according, I think, to Wikipedia, or to like the Clamp Wikipedia universe Wikipedia. So that is just like the order that I'm going in. Thank you so much for checking out this Clamp series video number 2, Man of Many Faces. I would love to hear your thoughts, your interpretations, if you read it, if you plan on reading it, if you saw this and you like, hell no, I'm not reading this. I don't blame you, because I'm not reading this again. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.